Welcome back to Elden Ring. In patch 1.04, there were a couple of nerfs, and one of them was regarding the blood loss build-up, and a lot of people have since said that the Rivers of Blood is nowhere near as good. It basically got nerfed. So what we're going to do in this video is see just how strong it really is after patch 1.04, and I know the patch came out a little while ago, but I thought there's something to do in the game. I've always loved the Rivers of Blood, and hopefully it's not going to be nerfed again in any way, shape or form. But just quickly before we do get into this one, if you're not currently subbed to the channel, make sure you do sub, turn notifications on. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. All support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support me further as a creator, then check out the links in the description, and let's get into it. So, I've got the Rivers of Blood +9, I've got a Blood Uchi Katana, it's got Seppuku, it's just the Blood Affinity at +24. I'm running the Raptor's Black Feathers, even though there's not going to be too many jumping attacks. I'm going to be mainly focusing on Corpse Piler, so the Uchi Katana is not really going to come into it either. Then I'm running the Ritual Sword Talisman, I've got Shard of Alexander, Lord of Blood's Exultation, and Rotten Winged Sword Insignia. Then in the Flask of Wondrous Physic, I do have the Flame Shrouding Cracked tier, because the Rivers of Blood does have fire attack power. Then what I'm going to do is switch out the Dex Not Crystal tier, and we are going to run a new Crystal tier, and that one is, when we come in here, Thorny Cracked tier, because it makes consecutive attacks grow stronger when this is in the Flask of Wondrous Physic. So basically, with the Rivers of Blood, we're going to use Corpse Piler, we're going to get bonus attack power from Ritual Sword, we're going to get extra attack power using the skill with Shard of Alexander. Lord of Blood's Exultation will help when there is blood loss in the area, so we could even proc that with the Uchi Katana. Then the Rotten Winged Sword Insignia is going to stack with the Thorny Cracked tier. Then we're going to get bonus attack power out of the Flame Shrouding Cracked tier. So, if we test this against the dog in Caelid, if I switch over on two hands so I can use Seppuku, so we'll do Flask, and then I'm going to use Seppuku, I'm going to switch back, but then obviously to use Ritual Sword I'm going to have to drink a health flask. Then if I come over, okay, so it's still very, very, very strong. Because I think what they did was stopped blood loss proccing so fast. But it's still incredible to use the Rivers of Blood. I'm really thankful for that as well, because I absolutely love this weapon. I've just not really had a chance to use it since the patch come out. I've been testing a load of other things. So what we'll do now is we'll go to the Giant, because you can't proc blood loss. I want to see what Corpse Piler does against him. So what we'll do is the same again. We'll drink the Flask. We'll two-hand the Uchi Katana and use Seppuku. Then we'll switch back so we're not two-handing. Use a Crimson Flask, and then come over here with Corpse Piler. 7,600. That is pretty good. And then we managed to get 12.5k out of it as well. But considering this guy doesn't get affected by blood loss, that is really, really good. Quick, crit, crit, crit. 10k. It's not bad at all. So, for those of you interested in the Rivers of Blood, and you might have seen the patch notes or heard people talking about 1.04 nerfing it, I mean, it might be a little bit slower to proc blood loss, but it's still a really, really viable and powerful bleed weapon. And even if you're against enemies that don't really take a blood loss build up, they're like almost immune, if not like completely immune to blood or hemorrhage, then you can still power stance katanas, you can still do a load of damage, and if you're using the Thorny Cracked Tear, as well as maybe even Millisense Prosthesis, and stack that all with the Rotten Winged Sword Insignia, you're going to get a lot of damage from these builds. And I can't believe I've put nearly 500 hours into this character, and I never had the Thorny Cracked Tear. But it just shows you how big the game is, and how many things can easily be missed. But what we're going to do is leave that video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.